Donald Trump met with Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa in Saudi Arabia yesterday, marking a significant diplomatic shift as the disgraced president announced the lifting of long-standing sanctions on Syria. Trump described the decision as an opportunity to give the war-torn country a chance at greatness.
I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness. The golden age of the Middle East can proceed right alongside of us. We will work together. We will be together. We will succeed together. We will win together. And we will always be friends.
The meeting took place ahead of a Gulf Cooperation Council summit and formed part of Trump's 4-day tour of the Middle East, where he sought to secure regional investments to the U.S. economy. The sit-down followed months of diplomatic efforts by Syria's new leadership, installed after the ousting of Bashar al-Assad in December, as well as support from key allies in Turkey and Saudi Arabia. Before ascending to the presidency, al-Sharaa was known as Abu Muhammad al-Golani, the leader of the al-Nusra Front, a al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria. Under his leadership, the group was implicated in numerous human rights violations, including massacres targeting minority communities, orchestrating suicide bombings in civilian areas, notably the 2012 Al-Midan bombing and the 2013 Damascus bombings, and forced conversions and ethnic cleansing. Reports of coercing minority groups to convert and forcibly displacing communities based on sectarian lines. Washington's engagement with Sharaa marks the first time a U.S. president has met a Syrian head of state since the year 2000. The White House confirmed that discussions are underway to explore formal diplomatic normalization with Damascus.
We are currently exploring normalizing relations with Syria's new government, as you know.
The former insurgent, Sharaa, had been the subject of a $10 million U.S. bounty until late 2024, met with Trump for roughly 30 minutes. Also present were Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaibani. Turkish President Erdogan reportedly joined by phone. Following their conversation, Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One that Sharaa was young, tough, and had a very strong past, referencing his militant background. Trump added that Sharaa expressed willingness to join the Abraham Accords, U.S. brokered agreements that normalize relations with Israel. Trump also called Sharaa to cooperate in fighting ISIS, dismantling remaining chemical weapons and expelling Palestinians. Ending sanctions gives Syria a fresh start, Trump told GCC attendees. The sanctions were severe and crippling, he claimed. The move is a reversal for the Trump regime, which had previously hesitated to engage with Sharaa, known for his history with the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Sharaa officially severed ties with al-Qaeda in 2016 and has since attempted to rebrand as a statesman. The decision to lift sanctions came unexpectedly, even as the State Department had outlined a 12-point plan for Syria, including the protection of religious minorities and continued U.S. authority to conduct counter-terrorism strikes on Syrian soil. Trump's unilateral announcement came before negotiations were concluded. Syria's pitch to Washington reportedly included offers of oil access, security guarantees for Israel, and a proposal for a Trump-branded real estate project in Damascus. Israel, however, remains cautious. The Israeli government has voiced concern over the Islamist-led regime in Syria and has continued to carry out military strikes across Syrian territory, particularly in the south. Despite international hesitation, Saudi Arabia welcomed the policy shift. Crown Prince Mohammed praised the lifting of sanctions at the GCC summit, and the Saudi foreign minister pledged to coordinate the US on future cooperation. Mohammed bin Salman approved the assassination of the Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, according to US intelligence. MBS has also cracked down on activists, intellectuals, journalists, and even royal family members. that have been detained or silenced in Saudi. While he lifted the ban on women driving and relaxed male guardianship laws, many of the activists who campaigned for these reforms were jailed, tortured, or coerced into silence. Human rights organizations argue that these changes were cosmetic and intended to distract from deeper authoritarian repression, probably the bit that Trump is drawn to. In Damascus, the announcement sparked spontaneous celebrations. Crowds waved flags and street musicians performed in the capital's historic districts. Social media was flooded with videos of Trump dance clips edited to Syrian patriotic songs. After over a decade of conflict, Syria's economy is in ruins, with more than 90% of the population living in poverty and basic infrastructure largely destroyed. International sanctions had cut Syria off from the global financial system and scared away potential investors. The Syrian Foreign Ministry hailed the announcement as a critical turning point and an opening for stability, reconstruction, and self-reliance. Donald Trump's first major overseas trip of his second term is to a region where his family's business ventures have recently expanded. The growing presence of the Trump Organization in the Middle East is raising heightened concerns about possible conflicts of interest. In the lead-up to his trip, Trump's sons, who manage the Trump Organization, had toured various Middle Eastern countries to advance new business deals that could financially benefit both the company and the president. Ethics experts, historians, and government watchdog groups argue that this deepens existing concerns about potential violations of ethical norms and constitutional boundaries between the president's private interests and his public duties. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.